if you're riding it, ends up down there on that dotted line. And what's important to understand is to get to that dotted line is like taking a bunch of toll roads. There's a lot of tolls to get down there. And every time you hit one of those tolls, you're paying additional for your internet. In comparison, internet coming out of, say, Ashburn, Virginia, I'll give you a comparison. It's about 29 cents a megabyte. That's what it is, 29 cents. So when you think about what you pay at your house, if you have 10 meg, or even if you have 100 meg, you're paying a lot more than 29 cents. You're paying probably 10, 20, 30 times that because you're paying for all the toll road operators. So now we have this yellow backbone that's going to come down here, and for the first time is going to touch a lot of communities that never had direct access to basically what is now the most important commodity in our lives. That's a fact. So my group's job, Kelly's team works for me, Deliker's team works for me. Basically, we have two jobs as part of this. One is the community outreach, which is getting all you folks here and determining in the 6 communities of Pottstown, Doylestown, Ephrata, Reading, York, and Hanover, is there a need and a desire to have this type of a service? It's a feasibility study. So if you guys weren't here, we basically would probably go back to the DCED and say, in Pottstown, there's no need or desire. That's the reality. It's feasibility. It doesn't always have to come out positive. So what we're doing is we're gathering all the organizations from nonprofits to educational to the bigger businesses in the community, to the economic and political leadership, and getting as many people interested as possible so that basically we can do a high-level design and say, okay, here's all the people and all the businesses and organizations that want this type of a service. And what we're doing is analyzing all the existing services. So what does Verizon have? What does Comcast have? What do the utilities have in the ground that can help us get organizations and folks like yourself connected to that? Because this project, the UFD backbone, is not to build out to the individual organizations. So our job is to come up with a high-level plan to go back to the DCED and say, here's a buildable plan. For the first time, we're looking at it holistically, not just as a community, but as a region. So, for example, there's been aggregation projects in the past, especially in the school systems and the IUs, where they banded together and got better internet pricing. They pay way less than any business or organization that's going to be here. And that's called aggregation. It's been looked at in individual industries, in part some of the healthcare. This is the first time that we're looking at it holistically, not just as a community, and basically saying, okay, we're looking at the schools, we're looking at all the big businesses, we're looking at small businesses, we're looking at tech startups. We were just up at the biotech center. And basically saying, if everybody's interested and understands the economic impacts of these things and coming up with a buildable plan that we can give to the DCED, where now you might have somebody like Verizon or Comcast saying, I didn't know everybody wanted this. And here's how the fiber map needs to look. Here's all the poles you need to be on. Here's all the potential customers you can have. And it's the first time anybody's ever done this, again, not just from a community standpoint, which is really important to understand what we're trying to accomplish as part of this project, is that I'm born and raised in Central PA. I was born and raised in York. And York is York. They don't want to play with anybody. Lancaster's Lancaster. They don't want to play with anybody. And the same holds true for a lot of communities in Pennsylvania. And that was okay when the businesses were trying to compete regionally. Everybody's trying to compete globally now. So we're saying, okay, listen, there's a lot of cross-communication and shared resources that we can potentially realize by getting this connected as a region. It's connected.